Reclaiming healthy masculinity. Why men are not broken. Alright, let's take a look around. You might notice that something seems a bit off. Many men today don't resemble the men of previous generations who were strong, assertive, and grounded. Instead, there's a noticeable hesitation, emotional reactivity, and reluctance to embrace their true, healthy masculinity. The question arises, are men becoming more feminine? If so, why is this happening, and what are the implications for both men and women? If you're new to my channel, my name is Anna Jensson. I assist good men like you in understanding modern women so you can find, attract, and keep your ideal partner. Welcome to Just the Tip. Unfortunately, fourth-wave feminism has fostered a negative attitude in many women towards men and masculinity, often undermining and emasculating men. This is detrimental to both sexes and society as a whole. By the way, if you're interested in learning more about men's psychology and masculinity, the Center for Male Psychology offers a wealth of valuable resources, though I have no affiliation with them. Let's dive in. 1. The demonization of masculinity. For years, the narrative has been clear: masculinity is the problem. Men are too aggressive. They need to be softer and less toxic. The term toxic masculinity is frequently used. If you constantly hear that being a man is inherently wrong, you'll start to reject the very traits that make you strong and attractive. This results in men who hesitate to lead, take risks, or stand up for themselves, fearing they'll be labeled as controlling, toxic, or problematic. For example, a man who naturally takes charge on a date might hold back, worried she'll think he's too dominant. A man who wants to set boundaries might fear appearing aggressive. The outcome is weak, passive men who are easy to control and manipulate, attracting women who are not ideal partners or, worse, not attracting anyone and becoming dangerously bitter. Ideal partners don't stay with weak men. Society needs strong men, and more importantly, you will respect yourself by embracing your healthy nature. Your mission, should you choose to accept it, is to recognize where you've been conditioned to suppress your natural masculine traits and start reclaiming them. Practice assertiveness in small ways, make decisions without seeking approval, set boundaries, and embrace leadership and control over your own life. 2. The overemphasis on feelings over actions. There's nothing wrong with having emotions. It's natural. However, modern men are being encouraged to dwell on their feelings and talk about them instead of taking action. You've seen it. You feel sad, and instead of fixing the situation, you drown in self-pity. You feel anxious, and instead of confronting your fears, you retreat. Society tells you it's okay to just express your emotions, but that's what boys do with their mothers. What happened to resilience? For example, if your great-grandfather was stressed, he didn't sit around venting about it like women do. He got to work and built something. Meanwhile, many modern men spend more time talking about their struggles or writing about them online than actually taking action or making a plan to solve their problems. Remember, mother mode suppresses lover mode. If a woman feels like she needs to be a parent in the relationship, she will lose attraction to you. Your mission, should you choose to accept it, is to balance your emotions with action. When you're feeling down, instead of ruminating too much, do one productive thing: work out, start a project, or take a small step toward a goal. Consider the masculine figures you may have admired during your upbringing. These could include your father, grandfathers, or even male characters from films and television shows. They often embodied strength, took on responsibilities without complaint, and were the kind of men that the leading female characters found irresistible. However, in today's world, many young men are growing up without strong or present role models. Contemporary films frequently portray male characters in a less favorable light, while simultaneously elevating the status of strong female characters. Perhaps you were raised in a household where your father was absent, or even if he was present, he may have been passive or overshadowed by a more dominant mother, leading him to relinquish his role as a man just to maintain harmony. Society, including schools, media, and cultural norms, often promotes the notion that masculinity is inherently toxic, causing men to question their natural instincts. Without a strong masculine presence to guide them, many young men may adopt the softer traits that society praises or, conversely, gravitate towards extreme and sometimes genuinely toxic masculine role models. Take Andrew Tate, for instance. Regardless of your opinion about him, his popularity stems from his unapologetic embrace of masculinity and his indifference to public opinion. This resonates with many young men who wish to feel the same way. For example, consider a boy raised by a single mother, perhaps a wonderful single mother, who has never had a strong, emotionally healthy male figure in his life. He grows up seeing men depicted in the media as either villains or fools, and he lacks guidance on how to be assertive, take risks, or lead in a respectful manner. Instead, he learns to be overly agreeable, avoid confrontation, and seek validation from others, particularly women. Now, think about a young man whose father was physically present but emotionally absent, a passive individual who allowed life to unfold without taking charge. This son may come to believe that such passivity is the norm. When faced with challenges, he might hesitate, overthink, and look for someone else to make difficult decisions for him, often seeking a maternal figure to guide him. Without healthy, strong role models, masculinity becomes something that must be rediscovered rather than something that develops naturally. It's important to recognize that this situation is not your fault. You cannot know what you were never taught. If you choose to accept it, your mission is to actively seek out and learn from strong, healthy male role models. This could involve reading or listening to biographies of great men, following mentors who exemplify healthy masculinity, and surrounding yourself with inspiring men who encourage you to improve. Additionally, if you want to foster positive relationships with women, it's wise to avoid consuming content from negative influencers who thrive on rage and conflict. Moreover, the comfort culture prevalent today is contributing to a softness in men. Modern life offers unparalleled convenience, food is readily available, entertainment is constant, and genuine struggles are rare. However, true growth occurs outside of your comfort zone. Regardless of how long humanity has existed, our ancestors had to hunt, fight, and survive. In contrast, today, many people can spend entire days on the couch, ordering food, binge-watching Netflix, and avoiding real challenges. Without struggle, there can be no growth. For instance, instead of hitting the gym, some young men might choose to stay indoors, engrossed in video games, or they might scroll through social media instead of developing new skills. The outcome of this lifestyle is weak bodies, weak minds, and ultimately, weak men. Therefore, I encourage you to watch my video on the 15 masculine activities and start engaging in one of them at a time until you feel a sense of mastery or a renewed sense of manhood. Remember, this journey is about your personal growth, not about how others perceive you. The fear of confrontation is a common issue many men face today. In the past, men would stand their ground, but now they tend to avoid conflict at all costs. You might have experienced a situation where someone disrespected you, but instead of speaking up, you let it slide. Perhaps a woman took advantage of you, but you were afraid of losing her, so you stayed quiet. Or maybe a coworker publicly humiliated you in a staff meeting, and you pretended to laugh it off, convincing yourself that you're spiritually evolved or being the bigger person. However, deep down, you know you let yourself down. This isn't a sign of strength, it's a sign of weakness. Real men handle conflict with confidence, not avoidance. This doesn't mean erupting with rage. Instead, provide a quiet yet firm response with steady, assertive eye contact. If you let people push you around, you send a clear message that you're a follower, not a leader. Leaders attract more of the kind of women you want than followers do. For example, imagine you're out with a lady you're dating, and another guy blatantly disrespects you by making a slick comment or trying to act dominant in front of her. Instead of addressing it, you pretend not to notice or laugh it off awkwardly. She notices, and deep down, she loses a little respect for you, but not as much as you lose respect for yourself. Or maybe you're at work, and your boss dumps extra tasks on you last minute on a Friday, tasks that aren't even yours. Instead of pushing back, setting boundaries, or acknowledging it's not your work, you nod and accept it. Again, you show everyone that you don't stand up for yourself. Women and the world respect men who know their worth and enforce it. If you don't, you'll always be at the mercy of those who do. Your mission, should you choose to accept it, is to stand your ground once this week. Set a boundary, say no to something unreasonable, or calmly confront someone who disrespects you. The goal isn't aggression, it's self-respect. Another issue is the rise of passive dating behavior. Back in the day, men knew they had to pursue women confidently without chasing them or being overeager. However, nowadays, too many guys wait for women to choose them. The kind of women you want don't have to chase men. You might have been there, endlessly texting, afraid to ask her out, hoping she'll make the first move, or worse, accepting whatever scraps of attention she throws your way instead of explicitly expecting respect. The kind of women you want don't respect passive, weak men. They want leaders, not guys who beg for attention. You're already losing if you're sitting around waiting for her to show interest. For instance, you text her daily, trying to keep the conversation going, but she only replies with dry, one-word answers. Instead of taking the hint and moving on, you keep pushing, hoping she'll suddenly see your worth. Meanwhile, the guy who confidently asks her out and sets plans without hesitation is the one she's getting excited about. Hint: you can be that guy. Don't be the guy who waits for her to make the first move. Take control and show her you're a leader worth respecting. When it comes to dating, deciding when to meet, what to do, and whether the relationship should progress can be tricky. You might think you're being respectful by letting her take the lead, but in reality, you're handing over all the power. Here's the truth: women don't want to lead in dating. They're looking for a man who knows what he wants and confidently pursues it. Remember, I'm not here to create solutions. I'm here to decode the challenges. So, if you're up for it, your mission is to take charge of your dating life. If there's a woman you're interested in, ask her out directly. Skip the endless texting and avoid waiting for her to make the first move. Confident, intentional action is key. Now, let's talk about the growing reliance on others. It's no secret that many men today depend heavily on their parents, society, or handouts. To be fair, life is tougher in some ways for men today, but that's no excuse to lose control of what you can control. Instead of working toward their goals, some men fall into a victim mentality, blaming others for their failures. This isn't just a male issue, but it's particularly relevant here. For example, instead of working harder or smarter, you might complain that the system isn't fair. Yes, it often is, but waiting for someone else to fix your problems won't get you anywhere. No one is coming to save you. You have two choices: take control of your life like a victor or remain passive like a victim. Your mission, should you choose to accept it, is to take full ownership of one area of your life where you've been overly dependent, whether it's finances, career, personal growth, or something else. Start figuring it out for yourself, starting today. Another issue is the disconnect from physical strength. Men used to take pride in being physically strong, but today's average man is weaker than his grandfather. This isn't about body shaming, it's about health and fitness. Whether or not you're looking for a partner, your physical condition directly impacts your happiness and fulfillment. Lifting weights, manual labor, and physical activity used to be the norm, but now they are optional, and too many men skip them entirely. Here's the reality: your body reflects your discipline. If you're physically weak, chances are you're emotionally and mentally weak too. This isn't meant to be harsh. It's tough love. Imagine needing to protect someone, your partner, your family, or even yourself, but being too out of shape to handle it. That's not just embarrassing, it's potentially dangerous. Or picture needing to move something heavy but having to call someone else because you've neglected your strength. Women notice these things. Biologically, they're wired to be attracted to capable, strong men. My dad, for instance, was overweight but incredibly strong, and my mom always felt safe with him. If you can't lift your own weight, how can you expect to carry the weight of a relationship or a family? Finally, there's the loss of independence. Similar to relying on others, a man must be self-sufficient. Being able to cook, fix things, and manage your life is essential. But let's be honest, many modern men struggle with this. It's not about blaming anyone, it's about acknowledging the reality. If you can't care for yourself without relying on others, it's time to make a change. Independence isn't just about survival, it's about respect, for yourself and from others. So, take the first step today. Start small, but start now. Your future self will thank you. Some men act as if they're in mother mode. They suppress their independence by relying on others for basic tasks like boiling eggs or fixing a flat tire. They fail to master essential skills, such as changing a car's tire or maintaining an old vehicle, and instead depend on external help. Their culinary habits reflect this dependence, often ordering fast food nightly despite lacking the ability to prepare even a simple meal. Cooking is now seen as a feminine trait, but self-care is traditionally viewed as a masculine responsibility. Yet, having a signature dish to impress someone can be a small victory. Imagine a woman seeking a partner who can lead, provide, and navigate life's challenges, but instead finds a man who's helpless, unattractive, and unable to handle daily responsibilities. Women may respect capable men who can fix household issues or troubleshoot problems, but they also need men who can manage their finances wisely. Note that I'm not suggesting a large budget, but they require a man who can handle life without constant reliance on others. If you can't care for yourself, how do you expect to care for others? Your mission, if you choose to accept it, is to learn one practical skill that boosts your independence. Master cooking from scratch, fix a household item, or gain basic car maintenance knowledge. Competence is attractive now, especially in the context of a signature meal that leaves a lasting impression. Before revealing number 10, remember that this message resonates with many. If you found value in this video, please like it and share it with someone who needs to hear this. Consider subscribing for more insights. Thank you for joining. Now, number 10, the addiction to instant gratification. In today's world, men and women crave immediate results, whether it's a perfect meal, a quick fix, or a flawless social media post. While everyone desires success, women often respect hard work, but you'd rather avoid effort. Life's challenges lie outside comfort zones. Social media, fast food, and instant entertainment have reprogrammed men's brains to expect instant rewards without effort. Authentic masculinity, however, thrives on struggle, discipline, and patience. Examples include a man with a perfect physique who's genetically blessed, or a successful individual who's merely lucky. These mindsets erode true masculinity. Instead of blaming others, focus on personal growth. Set a delayed gratification goal, whether it's fitness, a skill, or financial development. Invest time and trust the process. Don't chase shortcuts. Embrace the journey. Are men becoming more feminine? Yes, but it's a dangerous trend. It makes women easier to manipulate and forces men to rely on their masculine energy to survive. Society convinces men to weaken themselves, suppress their strength, and embrace softness. But the truth is, The women you desire don't want weak men. The world doesn't honor weak individuals, and deep down, you likely don't respect yourself when you're powerless. It's time to reclaim your true, healthy masculinity. By taking control, you'll build strength both physically and mentally. Stop waiting for life to happen. Start acting. Stop avoiding conflict. Stand firm. Stop chasing comfort. Embrace the struggle. The world doesn't need more weakness. It needs resilience. Society needs more strong, principled men, individuals who lead with integrity, protect what matters, and build meaningful foundations. These changes aren't just about benefiting others. They'll enrich your own life, regardless of relationships with women. Transformation begins with you, right now. Ask yourself, which of these steps will you commit to today? Declare your choice in the comments below to hold yourself accountable. If you're unsure where to start, consider my *** Wake Up to Love *** program, a guided path to self-growth. But let's be clear, this only works if you show up consistently and put in the effort. Yes, it'll challenge you, but lasting change requires dedication. To learn more and determine if the program aligns with your goals, scan the QR code below. Remember, be kind to yourself. You can't blame yourself for what you never learned, but you can rewrite your story starting today. Every small step shapes your future. Society needs your courage, your voice, and your action. I'm rooting for you, proud of your progress, and confident in your potential. Blessings on your journey. May the rest of your life reflect the best of your choices.